Welcome to the Floral Shop podcast, where flowers and business blend seamlessly. Join our journey to uncover the secrets of elite event designers and get insights into the art of running a successful floral shop. Here is your host, Ziv Raviv.
Hello and welcome back to the Floral Shop podcast. Today with me is Carmela de Castro from the Orchid Republic. And the official name of the shop is Orchid Republic Floral Boutique. And they have 3 locations in California. I'm super impressed by their work and wanted to share their story with you. Hello, Carmela. How are you?
Hi, Ziv. Thank you, first of all, for having me. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. And so excited to be here and discuss more flower stuff, I guess.
Yeah. I want to start by your origin story of how did you end up finding yourself as a floral?
I used to work for a guy who does flowers, and it was a lot of work, which I couldn't keep up with. So I wanted to just sort of like take the part of the job that I enjoyed and build a career from that. And then along the way, I met some people who have helped me with this travel, I guess. And one of them actually has become my business partner. And she's great. She has great ideas. She's amazing. She does the operational side of the business, and then I do the marketing side of the business. And then here we are, 8 years later, 3 stores after.
That's quite a journey in 8 years to have the business structure and the foundations and the income to justify more locations. And now that you're on 3 locations, you're clearly are doing something right, and we're always curious to see that. But first, on the more emotional level, like how scary was it to make a decision to extend your locations like that?
It was actually not scary. It was actually quite exciting for us. We saw the tremendous growth of our location in Sherman Oaks, and we thought that we could replicate that in the other stores that we have. So it was just a lot of excitement, a lot of like positive outlook. But with the current, I guess, state of the economy all over the world, I guess now there is a little bit of fear in opening up all these locations. They are still doing really well, but tomorrow's another day, right?
Well, you make decisions in your business based on what you know in that time. And you made a decision to expand, which was exciting for you. And it worked so far. So that's exciting. Was it something that you had to like convince your partner, or were you always on the same page on that?
We've always been on the same page. What we do is every quarter we sit down and we come up with like business ideas, business plans, things that we hope to achieve, things that we need to improve on. So there was just no convincing. We had an idea. And we've always been together with the idea. And I think this helps, like having a business partner that's sort of like in the same like mindset as you in terms of like growth for the company. So it's easier for me to achieve what I have in mind, and it's easier for her to achieve also what she has in mind. So it's no convincing needed.
Was it a hard decision to take the partner on? Because when we start in our business, often we think like if we take a partner, then they often want a nice chunk of the profits as well. Potentially even, some partnerships are 50-50. And you need to think about it deeply, and there's all sorts of considerations. What were your reasons to take on a partner?
The business, we split half and half, the business partner that I have, because we each contribute to different aspects of the company. Like I said, she does the operation and I do the marketing side of the company. So there was really no question of taking on a partner. Like I said, in my previous job, I loved it. But the thing that's sort of like stopping me from continuing with it was just the tremendous amount of work involved in it. So I moved because I just didn't want to that much time spent. I mean, I love working, but I just also didn't want to work 24/7. So having a business partner was actually like mandatory for me because it's always nice to have someone to like split the responsibility which I guess gives us space to work on the business and then at the same time have a life outside of the business, which I think at a certain age is extremely important. When I was in my 20s, I could work 24 hours. But as you get older, it's just not something that's sustainable for anybody.
Yeah, I do. So are there certain things that one of the partners is the only person in the company that knows how to do? Or are there like certain activities where if one of the partners maybe is busy with a client, then the other one can operate the business without him? How do you do it in your business?
There's a very good line of delegation in our work. I know the things that I need to do. She knows the things that she needs to do. She has staff under her that would help her if she goes on vacation for 2 months, or there are staff under me as well that can do the work that I do. For instance, if I can't work for whatever reason, I can do her work. She can do my work. Sometimes with how busy we are, our work sort of like clashes together. But it's not just her and I, but also people in our staff, people that are members of our team can also do everything. So it's a great place where everybody knows the specific tasks that they need to do. But if for some reason one person is lacking for time or whatever, there's always someone who can fill it in because they also know what to do in terms of like most small businesses, you know how like one staff sorts of like manages the whole thing. It's the same with us, regardless if I'm the owner. Sometimes when we're super busy, sometimes I'll do a delivery. Sometimes when my business partner is so busy doing an installation, one of our salesperson would do the flowers for her. So so that's why it's never boring for us. It's like, oh, okay, today I don't want to work as a salesperson. I'm going to work as a designer. And that works for us. So there's no boring time in the shop.
So that's a perfect segue to talk about your team. When you run an operation like yours, you need like a bigger team. And I wonder, how do you structure like each location in terms of the different roles that you hire?
So our biggest store is the one in Sherman Oaks, which is our flagship store. This is where most of the things are happening. The ones in Santa Monica are a little bit of a smaller store, which caters to our walk-in clients in there. But a lot of the deliveries are being done. Like, for instance, there are deliveries. So how do I say this? It's structured wherein whatever is the shop that's closest to the delivery would do the arrangement. Our drivers are everywhere. They're not specific drivers for Sherman Oaks location or Santa Monica or Orange County. It's like wherever there's an order that needs to be delivered, that's where they go. So for instance, although my driver comes to Sherman Oaks in the morning, although the drivers come in Sherman Oaks in the morning, throughout the day, some of them end up in Orange County. Some of them end up in Santa Monica. So it's like a big store with like 3 locations. So everybody does the work of whatever store is lacking in, for lack of a better word.
And how many people in total work for you for Orchid Republic?
There's about 24 of us.
Wow. And those 24 people, like some of them are temporary employed? Or...
we try to keep everybody full-time. So pretty much everyone is full-time.
Nice. And these days, there's a lot of floral shops that they go through this dilemma of where to focus. Should they focus on decorating events like weddings where there's like a bigger client and like one person you work with that person for a while, or to nurture the location type of the business and come up with more designs on their website or on their shop, and with more offerings like gifts and teddy bears and even furniture sometimes, whatever, depending on your size, the size of the shop. Where do you stand in terms of your preference of what should your business focus on? Like, is it the walk-ins that make you most money? Is it the decor? Where do you stand?
So, I want to put it out there that we are a full service florist. So we do events, we do retail, we do gift shops, we do plant maintenance and landscaping. But that said, we have core clients that we deal with in terms of our weekly accounts. We do events, but we don't do really big events just because it's a lot more planning and working for us. We do it, but for very good clients. We're not out there to do events. We're mostly just out there to do retail. So our biggest trend is on retail and on weekly account.
That weekly account sounds very interesting. I'm noticing that you have on your website an offer for a subscription. Are these the email account, the weekly accounts that you have?
Yes, there are two ways. There are big retailers that we have as our weekly accounts. We do the flowers on their boutiques weekly. We do flowers for their hotels on a weekly basis. We do flowers on their offices on a weekly basis. We maintain their landscapes on a weekly basis. So these are considered our core weekly accounts. And then we also have the subscription account. Essentially, these are like someone who wants to give a gift of flowers for 6 months, someone who wants to give an orchid gift for like 1 year. So those are subscription. And those are like how we differentiate our clientele in terms of like the weekly accounts and the subscription accounts.
The listeners might ask themselves, like, how do I actually get to the point where I have a client that is a weekly account, a client that chooses a subscription? What is the life cycle for you to recruit a new client like that?
Different things. A lot of our marketing are done by word of mouth. Sometimes they'll reach out to us, tell us about their project, tell us about their needs. And generally, that's when we sit down with them, we'll discuss what we have in mind, and then they transition to weekly accounts. Some of them are recommendations from previous clienteles or from current clienteles. Some of them really found us over the internet. Some of us saw our work in one of the hotels, or some of them are shopping in one of the retailers and then they see the flowers. So those are how we generally get them. We also reach out to them. Sometimes I'll walk in and I'll shop in a store and I see that they have beautiful flowers. Sometimes I would reach out to them and see, if I could offer my services. So it's actually many different ways on how we sort of like eventually evolve into having weekly clients. And it's just different ways, really, like all over.
So imagine you went back in time and you meet you and your partner just in the beginning stages of your first location, and you can give yourself like an advice of what to do to speed up the process of working with weekly accounts, because I imagine this gives you stability and cash flow is easier that way. What would you advise yourself to do in order to get to the point where you actually have weekly clients?
That is a good question. In terms of giving ourselves advice, I would say to reach out more to people because you never really know. Like sometimes we say that sending a proposal for someone who doesn't really need it, you don't know. Sometimes I would just reach out and send them our portfolio and they would be like, oh my goodness, we were just looking for a florist. Just reach out. It doesn't hurt you. It takes very little effort to introduce yourself to a company. It takes very little effort to send an email of your portfolio. But if it does work out, the returns are quite big, especially for weekly clienteles. We're in as a regular thing.
These days, do you still do like daily outreach emails like that?
Not as much. Thank God. We're very grateful. Not as much, really. A lot of our clientele sort of like just reach out to us. You've been recommended by so-and-so. We're looking for a new florist. We're looking for someone new to maintain the plants at our restaurant. So we haven't really. We've been kept busy by current weekly clients that we have, but also we've been getting recommendations from our current clients. So not for a while.
Well, how much of your business is more focused on your online shop in comparison to walk-ins?
As a florist, walk-in business is very low for us because people really don't go inside the shop and they'll say, oh my goodness, what a beautiful flower arrangement. Let me buy myself one. So that doesn't happen. Most people, they have an idea on why they're sending flowers. Most people, there's an occasion on why they're sending flowers. So I would say that on our retail business, I want to say 95% of that or 90 to 95% of that belongs to either phone calls or website sales. And about 5% of that is really a walk-in business. It's just having a beautiful flower shop sort of like makes people comfortable in ordering from you because they see what you can do. They see your store. They see the flowers that you have in your store. So it's just to build trust. But even our clients, even our new clients, they come to our store, they see our store, they order once, and then and then transactions after that are mostly either phone calls or emails or text or done through our web.
Can I ask how regularly you communicate with your past clients?
Oh, all the time. Where our retention for flower shop businesses are very high. You sort of like build a relationship with your clients because it's a very personal taste, right? So all the time we're in touch with not all of them, but there's a certain sense of familiarity between our clients and us. Because again, someone sending flowers, it's a very personal thing, right? It's not like some random products or anything. It's like a reflection of your taste. It's a reflection of who you are as a person. That's why.
And how often is that? Like once a week, more than that? Like in an email?
Some clients. So we do have email reminders. We do send out newsletter on a regular basis, telling them about new things in the store, telling them about what's in season, reminding them of anniversaries, of birthdays. So sending email reminders are done on a per need basis, depending on which client. Newsletters introducing new products happen on a weekly basis. Introduction of new collection happen every 2-3 months. So for instance, we're launching the spring collection. We send like people a reminder that spring is coming, and then we're launching our spring collection. But we do bring out our collection not like in one drove. We do it like every week. This is what's new this week. Lilacs are now in season. Peonies are just back. Like stuff like that.
And I'm noticing also that your pictures on your website are phenomenal. They're very, very pretty. Do you take the pictures yourself within the business, or do you hire someone for that?
No, it's just within our business. It's just sometimes we'll have like a big photo shoot, especially at the beginning, especially launching new collections. We'll have like a bigger photo shoot. But generally it's done on a day-to-day basis. Like, oh, lilacs are beautiful today. Let's create a beautiful arrangements about lilac. Then it goes on the website to let people know that lilacs are in season. You'd be surprised. A lot of these are done on our phones.
I think the background of your shop is so nice that it makes the picture feel like very, very pretty and very like, well lit picture, and the flowers look good that way. So having the nice looking shop that is arranged nicely helps.
It does. Yeah, absolutely.
And it's true that you can actually create wonderful pictures with a phone these days.
Yeah.
So how do you get people to find out about your website? Do you do any advertising for that?
Our advertising is very little. Obviously, we do Google. Everybody does Google. That's basically most of the advertising that we did. But mostly it's word of mouth, really. Recommendations. A lot of our clientele are recommended by, or I've seen your flowers. Your driver was walking and I saw the most beautiful arrangement and I asked for his number so I can call you guys. So now I'm ordering because I have a need for flowers. So word of mouth is mostly what we use. But we share stuff on social media like pretty much every other company. We do Google because who wouldn't? But that's pretty much it, really. Our advertising is really very minimal if you compare it to I don't know about other companies' advertising, but ours is quite minimal, in all honesty.
And have you ever considered delivering in more locations, except for around, in California, around the locations where you serve? You're currently serving all around, like Los Angeles and Orange County. Have you considered expanding?
So, great news. We actually just launched our nationwide shipping. So we are now able to send anywhere in the US except for Hawaii because they have like very strict floral rules, I guess. So we've started sending. We've launched our nationwide, I think about 6 weeks ago. And it's been really good. So that's the exciting thing about being able to deliver to other flowers. Thank you.
What is there some sort of service that you're going to use for the deliveries themselves as a nationwide?
We use FedEx. It comes. So our I'm not sure if you had the opportunity to look at their website. If you go look at the website and you go look at the nationwide, they're packaged very pretty. They're in a beautiful flower box. And then they're shipped via FedEx. They are shipped overnight or 2 days, depending on location. But that's our delivery service right there, FedEx.
Yeah, it works. And,
as efficient, right? As efficient as it gets.
Yes. And reliable and fast enough for you to declare nationwide. And was it a scary decision to decide to move into nationwide?
It wasn't. I've been thinking about it for the longest time. I mean, it takes a lot of market research, in all honesty, to launch something like this. It's not scary. It's actually, in fact, again, quite exciting. So rather than focus on scary new world, we sort of came up with this idea that everything is exciting. Everything is new and challenging, right? Yeah. So, there's always, I'm sure, any decision that you make, there's always that little doubt that what if? I'm not going to let the what if scare me.
Love it. So just to paint the picture in the context of how successful you are already in business, can you share with us the rough number of how much you're doing in total in a year?
Our retail side, we're probably doing maybe about 3 million, give or take. And then on top of that, our weekly accounts. Our weekly accounts fluctuate, really. It ranges from 1 million to 1.5 million on a given year.
Amazing. So we suggested in advance that we will do the game show and try to surprise you with 5 floral-related questions. And
all right, bring it.
Yes, this is it. So the game show begins. Question number 1. Why might a florist use a misting spray on plants? A, to convince them to grow faster with a pep talk. B, to keep the leaves and petals hydrated. C, to make them sparkle under shop lights. Or D, to prepare them for a miniature rainforest photo shoot.
I want to say B is obviously the correct answer, but I like C. But I'm going to go with B on this one.
But you're correct, it is B. And I guess it will look good on other shop lights. And if you are planning a miniature rainforest photo shoot, then
that's the way to go, right?
Proportions are correct. Question number 2. For a florist, what's a creative strategy to attract more customers during the holiday season? A, setting up a flower-themed escape room in the back. B, offering a build-your-own bouquet workshop. C, hosting a flower arrangement contest with a prize. Or D, giving away free kittens with every purchase over $100.
Oh my God. I'm going to go with B on this one because it seems like it's the right thing. But,
do you ever do build your own bouquet workshops?
We do. We've actually hosted 1 or 2, but it's a beautiful thing. We're actually launching something new. We're doing, rather than just build within our shop, we're hosting sort of like a weekend with beautiful flower workshop. So we're partnering with a couple of bed and breakfast in Santa Barbara. And then we're hosting a weekend wherein whoever is participating would go spend the weekend there. And then it'll be 2 weeks. For instance, on a Saturday, we're going to do Tuscany night. We're doing arrangements that are Tuscany related. And then we're going to do on Sunday. Yeah, this is also exciting. On Sunday, we're going to do French night or Marie Antoinette. Then we're going to come up with arrangements and we're going to teach them arrangements that are related to this beautiful flowers from the Marie Antoinette area. So isn't that amazing and exciting?
It's super
Something
exciting.
to do on the weekend, right?
I think that I love it when we talk about specific flowers or themes. I can already start to smell the flowers. So
Right?
That's how exciting it is. I think that this is a valid marketing solution. It is also possible to do some sort of a contest with prizes. It's very popular on social media, but I guess both answers are valid. I wouldn't give away kittens, though.
Kittens, I thought was a great idea. I mean, come on, get a kitten.
I mean, I would want to receive the kitten, but not to give it away. So, question number 3.
All right.
What's an innovative use of succulents in floral design? A, as a natural substitute for confetti. B, creating living jewelry pieces like rings and necklaces. C, using them as pencil holders. Or D, making a succulent-flavored ice cream line.
B, for sure B. Using them as a jewelry and as a living design.
Yes, it sounds wonderful and pretty. Let's go to question number 4. When talking about plant care, why is it advised to talk to your plants? A, because they get lonely. B, to improve their growth through carbon dioxide exposure. C, to practice your stand-up comedy routines. Or D, to provide unbiased life advice.
B. Although they could be a great recommender of unbiased life advice.
If you have some, then that's good for you. Final question. In floral symbolism, what does gifting someone a cactus signify? A, you think that they are prickly. B, you admire their resilience and strength. C, you're hinting they need to water their plants more. Or D, you couldn't find any roses.
B, but as a florist, I think it should be D.
So if you actually did run out of roses, then you need to know the answer B so that you could convince people to buy them.
Exactly.
Carmela, you won the prize of having us build up a content plan uniquely for your business. Every single idea in this content plan will be unique based on research of what you do and what you talk about on social media. And this will allow you to write newsletters on topics that are a little bit different than the regular buy our stuff type of emails. And congratulations.
Thank you. That was so exciting. Ooh, 5 questions of acceleration right there.
Everything you do, you get excited. I think this is a little bit addictive just to listen to you. So thank you so much, Carmela, for sharing with us the story of Orchid Republic Floral Boutique, your locations, you're going into nationwide. It's all very exciting indeed. I hope you and your partner and your entire staff continue to rock and make this world a prettier place. Thank you so much, Carmela.
Oh, thanks, Tim. It's my absolute pleasure to be here.
Thanks for tuning into the Floral Shop podcast. For more floral resources and stories, visit our website, floralshoppodcast.com, or step into our school at floralshopacademy.com. Don't forget to subscribe for our next flowery adventure. Keep blooming until we meet again.